Hey, what's going on? You guys just got paid or just got your allowance from your daddy and you got yourself a Komodo X. This awesome camera that we just got in. We're gonna show you how to quickly wrap it. Here are the tools that you're gonna need. Of course, you need your skin. Next, you need a tweezer and a application kit. These should be included, but if not, you can just find them locally or just use any tools that's very similar. Then we're gonna need a heat gun just to contour around all the soft, hard edges. So first, you wanna figure out which part goes where, but it's quite obvious just based off all the cutouts. What I like to do is start with something that's a lot easier. So first, we'll start off with the top side. You notice that they all have these cutout tabs, so you wanna be careful when peeling around there. Be very gentle when peeling these skins. You don't wanna stretch or deform them. Next, you wanna get them into position. So what we wanna do here is align it with the body lines and the cutouts for the buttons. So you wanna get that as perfect as possible. Don't worry about the screen. And once you have that aligned, go ahead and apply pressure to the surrounding screen area, especially this top strip on the top. Next, we're gonna fold in the flaps here around the edges. Then we'll do the other side, like so. And finally, we're just gonna peel off the tab. You should have a perfectly aligned screen. Moving on to the sides, we're gonna start with the memory card door section. As you can tell, this is the section for it. I recommend peeling from both sides so you're not adding too much stress around the weaker parts. I'm using the back body line here and the cutout of the memory card door. So next, once I have that confirmed, I'm just gonna apply pressure to lock in those areas. And here is the area that you gotta be a little bit more careful with. Just go ahead and use your thumbs and go over that area. We can go ahead and lift the tab here, slowly peel. For smaller items like this, you can go ahead and use a tweezer to make fine and micro adjustments. Now for the next section, you're gonna align it with the sensor plane cutout. And you wanna be mindful of the body edges, but also be mindful of the seams. So you don't wanna make any seams here and you don't wanna go over the body lines too much. So you wanna just align it perfectly, like so. Here, I like to align it with the record text. Again, use the body lines as your reference. The area that you want to be most cautious about are these thin strips here. For the record button, just use your thumbs, rub it in. So for deeper grooves and indents, I recommend using just a heat gun or hair dryer. Just give it a little bit of heat. You just want to warm it up. You don't want to overheat it. Next, use your squeegee. Just get those in. Apply a little bit of heat and contour it out. Now, these areas that have a lot of tension, I do recommend post heating. So once you're done applying, give it a little bit of heat so it locks in place. If you happen to overlap your vinyls, just go ahead and use your squeegee and get in between the body lines and just contour them in. Just align it with the cutouts and apply pressure. Okay, so for the back port section, this is a prototype version, so the one you receive may be in two pieces just because of how complex the shape of the backside is. So for this area, I recommend lining up with the back line, applying a little bit of pressure, and then for the cutout, I recommend going over with the fingers first, locking those areas in, just the top section. Next, we're gonna have to warm it up with our heat gun or hair dryer. You wanna get it a little bit soft, and then we're just gonna go in with our fingers, primarily our thumbs, and just get those contours in, like so. If you're doing the backside, I recommend flipping to the front Now we're gonna start with these 3 screw holes. Go ahead and just lock in just the top. And here we did leave a cutout, so what's gonna happen is once you pull the skin down, it's gonna add a little relief to that area, like so. Next, we're gonna line it with the red lettering and the downwards triangle. Fold in the edges here. Next, we're gonna tug this section. I'm just gonna tug it over so it aligns perfectly with the body lines. And then what we're gonna do is just go over that, lock it in, get the body lines. What we're gonna do next is we're slowly gonna go over it with our thumbs, pushing the air outwards. And once we get here, I do recommend using a heat gun and just pushing the rest of the air out. Make it a little malleable and pop it out, and look at that. Amazingly smooth corner. You might be asking, why not just break this up into multiple pieces? Well, it just won't look right. At that point, you might as well not put a skin on it. And for the top area, just gonna lift this up. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of heat to this to shrink the vinyl, and then we're just gonna apply it afterwards. Just squeegee downwards and get all that out of the way, and it should wrap around fully. Remember to heat up this section, use your squeegee and get it nice and contoured in there. After that, just post heat it. Use the very tip of your tweezer to align the port section. Don't want to give it too much surface area to stick to. I did remove the Wi-Fi antenna just for this installation. I do want to note that you want to put the locking mechanism in the center before applying. And what we're going to do is we're going to tuck it right under. So when removing the front skin, I recommend gently peeling, because there's a lot of small cuts that could rip if you just forcefully peel. So gently peel from all sides so they come off extremely easy. There's no tension. Now, once you have this on, do not apply any pressure to any section. We are just gonna tuck it into the lever, like so. And then we're just gonna work our way around the lever cutout. So this is very crucial. Before we start applying any pressure to any area of the front, we wanna make sure that the circular cutout is tucked in or behind the locking lever. So you can see here, it's fully functional. And then next, we are going to apply it to the red digital cinema cutout. You want to get it as aligned as possible. Then we're gonna go to the bottom. Make sure the microphone hole, the record light, and the other microphone hole are in as well. You can use your squeegee to lay in the inserts for the slit cutout. Once everything, all the ports and cutouts are aligned, what we're gonna do is we're gonna seal the edge here and here. Once that's sealed, we can fold this down like so. It should follow the body line. And once we have the bottom covered, we could just lay it down and focus on the top. The top is quite simple. We're just gonna fold in the flap and just bend it until it falls into place like so. And you wanna be mindful of the body lines as well. So first things first, we are just gonna fold in this flap right here with the screw hole, like so, while being mindful. Do the same for the other side. We're just gonna fold this in while minding the gap. And there seems to be a little crease, so what you could do here is just give it a little bit of heat. Once you have that, fold it in. And once you have that side done, we're just gonna fold the front flap over, and it should line up perfectly with the edge. Do not go over. Once it's lined up perfectly with the edge, we could just apply pressure, just lock it in like so. Now, to get the corners fully rounded, I do recommend, again, using a heat gun. Once you have that warmed up, just go over it with your fingers to create that nice rounded corner. Use your squeegee to tuck in all these little slits here. And now for the body lines, this part, it's quite interesting. What you want to do is, we want to start from the outside and use our squeegee to create the lines and go towards the inside. You want to push all the air out to the openings. So we want to start from the outside, create the crease, and then work our way towards the inside where we push all the air out. Now, if you don't push the air out, you're just going to get those bubbles, which is demonstrated here. But we have a technique for that. So let's just say you do have a bubble like so. You can actually just pop a little hole in there and just squeeze the air out, following the body lines perfectly. And even the front looks really nice. It looks OEM. It looks like this was plated in this color. For the areas that are really contoured and seems to be under a lot of stress, I do recommend post heating, which means we're just gonna heat it up again and just make sure it locks in to that memory position. And after that, this should last you quite a bit of time before you need a new skin. So that is your quick guide on the Komodo X and how to install this awesome new skin. Thanks for watching.